Hey, welcome to the JettyJetshow. Do you guys have trouble drawing hands? I know I do. Let's draw some hands. Hands are really difficult to draw. For me, I was lucky because I practiced a lot from like how to draw cartoony hands. I copied Disney character hands, like from Mickey Mouse. I actually had a Mickey Mouse how to draw book, and I drew from coloring books, and just really cartoony hands. So I had a lot of practice when I was a kid, and till this day I refer to those kind of mental images, those principles that I instilled at a young age. So hands for me are a little easier, but I still struggle. And I can say that's pretty much the same case for most professionals. Hands can be really tricky for anyone. And the best advice for drawing hands really is to get references. There's tons of references on the internet. Just type in hands and you'll get thousands of them. Hands, poses, hand gestures, things like that. If you can't find one that you like, just take a picture of your own hand. If you're drawing a character, get into the position of your character and have somebody take your picture for you and just draw that hand in that angle. Pictures are fine, but if you want to draw hands from your head, then you're gonna have to study the breakdowns. So let's look at some of these hands that I did. I drew all these rather quickly. All of these were pulled off the internet, referenced off the internet, and I tried to draw them all a little bit differently. This one's more boxy, kind of focusing on edges. This one's blocking in shapes again, circle palm, mitten fingers. This one here is stylized. I actually had the knuckles separate, but then I decided let's stylize it and just symbolize the knuckles with a straight line. Here's a cartoony one. I tend to draw all 5 fingers, even for cartoony characters. Circle palm and mitten fingers grouped together. Some semi-realistic, some taken into more of a cartoony gesture. Now, I use the word gesture because really hands are just like people. They have emotion, they have gestures, they have movement, and you can speak with hands. That's why they have sign language. So 50% of a character can be, the character's emotions can be shown through the hand gestures. Like this one's like a pointing and reaching. This one's like kind of a giving or receiving kind of gesture. This one's kind of stressed out, some sort of anxiety. This one's a little more tense, a little more stressed. This one's kind of like defeated, kind of like maybe gasping for air or something. This one's kind of cool, kind of chill, the peace sign. Let's look at some of the main points that I listed here. Planes, edges, gestures, overlapping. For planes, hands have tons of planes. Like here's a plane here coming up, going that way. Different planes. Same for the fingers. There are a lot of planes. Edges can be like the contour of the side here. And this is what makes hands so difficult, is that if you rotate your hand slightly, the contour or the edge here will change. So right now we have this knuckle. If we were to rotate it a little bit this way, this will now be the new edge, and it'll be completely different from this edge. And here's another thing about planes. You can see the bottom side here. You can see the bottom side, but then you can also see the top side. Now, overlapping. Fingers overlap constantly. There's overlaps everywhere. There's an overlap here. There's fingers back here. This thumb is blocking this finger back here. This pinky comes up and it blocks back here. So there's constantly overlapping shapes. And the emotions that we see through the lines can be seen by the symbols that we use. This hand is really messy, but we can still tell it's the palm side up because of the types of lines I use. For the top side, we use more of a curvy kind of soft gripping side, whereas the other side is the protecting armor side. So it's symbolized with the pointed areas because we gotta protect our fingers with the knuckles, and it's a little more rough. All right, let's break down the proportions of the hand. And as you can see, there are notes on the side, and we'll go over those as we draw. So first of all, let's draw a box for the base of the hand. You want to draw it so that it's pretty much equal on all sides, so that we can draw another box on top and get a nice rectangle. Alright, so now draw a line right down the center like this, and that's going to help us find the middle finger. First of all, draw a circle for like the wrist bone. That can stop around 1/3 base from the base. We find the middle finger first by drawing the knuckle, center, and the middle finger is divided vertically right down the center. So to find the joints for the fingers, you gotta divide this line in half. Draw another circle for that joint, and then divide that in half again, and that'll help you find the next joint, and then divide it again for the fingernail. Alright, from here we're gonna draw another circle a little bit lower, a little bit out for both of them. So this is gonna be the index finger, and this is gonna be the ring finger. So we'll do M for middle, index, I for index, and R for ring. Alright, so to find the tip of the index finger, it is the base of the middle finger's fingernail. And we're going to draw a line slightly at an angle. And the same for the ring finger, it's slightly at an angle, fanning out, because if you open your fingers, you'll notice it doesn't go straight up and down. So repeat the process of dividing it in half. Divide it in half again for the middle, and then the fingernail. And then for the pinky finger, come out here like this. So just leave the kind of an equal spacing and draw it out. You can line it up with the edge like here, like this, and then stop at the second joint for the ring finger. Divide that in half, and divide that in half, and divide that in half. Alright, for the first joint of the thumb, we're going to actually draw it like kind of halfway. So the halfway point of the box, the first box, right there. And we can just draw a line connecting it. It'll be invisible because it's going to be covered by meat. To find the tip of the thumb, it'll be half of the first joint, the first ligament, phalange, I think that's what it's called, right there. And if it's moving, you got to move that in an arc, like this. So if the thumb's here, it's at this length. So just think about it like that. So I'm going to draw it like this. And divide that in half for the joint, and now you have the thumb. Alright, let's begin adding some meat for the fingers. So we're going to come on the outside like this, round it off. Keep in mind these balls will serve as kind of joints, so we want to round it off at those areas. Come back in for the inside, but then you come back out like this at an angle. So notice how it tapers off at the very end like that. The same thing out here like this, round it off, come out, round it off, come down, connect it, and do this kind of loop here for the webbing. Come out for the joint, come back in slightly, and come out again for the joint, come back in slightly, but then taper off down like this, and that'll connect to the thumb. Alright, come out like here, come back in, come back out for the joint, come back down, and then connect it with this point here. It can be kind of a V shape depending on how far the fingers fan out. So a V shape there. So repeat the other side. Right down the center right there. And then the pinky, come out for the knuckle. I'm drawing them really knobby just to exaggerate. That's fine. The webbing will be a little more V-shaped because they're a little bit closer together. If they're spread apart, then you'll see the U shape. Now for the thumb is tricky because if you lay your palm down, all of your fingers are flat against the table, whereas the thumb lays kind of 3/4 on its side. So to draw that, we're going to draw the palm, the grip side, like this, and out. So circular, down and out. So think about like slopes, and then on the other side, mountains. So mountain for the knuckles. Come out for the knuckle, come back in slightly, come out for the bone, and down. And for the fingernail, halfway from this joint, this point, will be the fingernail. And it'll be pointing this way. From there, you just got to connect these two together. That's how you find that webbing. For the side of the pinky, there's kind of a bump there, and then it comes down. You can draw like a straight line at an angle, and the spacing here and here to be kind of close to each other, and then the wrists, and then finally P for the pinky. And those are the basic measurements for the fingers and the hand. So keep in mind the bumps and turns of the edges will be different depending on the angles, but if you understand the underlying structure of the hand, where the joints go and the proportions, then drawing the forms on top of it will be a lot easier and a lot more accurate and believable. Alright, so that's basically it for the hand, and here are some of the notes that I wrote down. So let's do a quick little review. I'll have all this stuff for you to download and look at in the description. Start with the box for the hand, double that box equally for the fingers. Half of it vertically is the center of the middle finger. Half of it horizontally is the middle finger's knuckle. You got to start off with the middle finger's measurements in order to find the index finger and the ring finger's measurements. So the tip of I and R, which is index and ring, are the base of the middle finger's fingernail. The tip of P finger is the last knuckle of R right here. See, they line up. Divide fingers in half to find the joints. You guys know that. Half, half, half. All half, half. All the knuckles fall on arc, M being the highest point. This is really important. This is the effect that we want. We want them to be in an arc. If you look at your hands, the knuckles aren't straight across. They arc. Really important point for the thumb. Follow this arc. The length of the arc really depends on this point here, where the middle point of the index finger, the first joint. That's the height of the thumb. Once you find that, you can extend the thumb whichever direction and figure out the length of that. So the tip of the thumb is on the arc of the index or halfway of its first joint. Arc of the index, so halfway like this, the first joint, or you can draw an arc like this. And that's basically how I would break down the hand. So again, this is just for learning. You don't have to draw this every single time once you understand the principles and the divisions. This is just to understand the proportions. And you can study this just by watching or drawing on paper, computer, anything. I hope you guys learned something. I know I did, because I actually got to refresh a lot of things that I forgot. And teaching is probably the best way to learn, actually. So practice this a couple times until you guys get it. Until you guys get it memorized, and then we'll move on to like stylized, cartoony gestures and all those fun things. But definitely it will help you to learn these proportions first. Alright, so until next time, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care, good luck, keep drawing. Please like and subscribe. And as always,